it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the more you're going to get it. And there are so many trends on this internet of how you can do your makeup. Should I put on foundation first? Should I blush before I do concealer? Contour? Should I use powder versus cream? Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Let's simplify this process through a step-by-step system. Then we can go in and start adjusting our preferences. Sometimes I want to apply my blush before I apply my concealer. You know, just play with it sometimes, and even hop on these trendy videos to where they're contouring a certain way and all the things. But first, we need to make sure our foundational principles when it comes to makeup are in order. We're gonna keep it simple and straight to the point. So let's grab our brushes, our tools, and all the things, and let's start blending. So first, we're gonna start with a clean face. That is the foundation of your foundation. If you have washed your face this morning and you just wanna do a little wipe down, try some micellar water. You're just gonna wipe down. I washed my face this morning and I'm not gonna go in again to wash it. So I'm just gonna use this to wipe it down. Next, we're gonna go in with moisturizer. This is my favorite moisturizer by Glow Recipe because it's the Plump Plump Hyaluronic Cream. I use this on my skincare routine. It really makes your skin plump, plump, plump. Like, that's the name of it. So it does just that. And I love Glow Recipe products because they just always deliver. Next is primer. I have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. What we're gonna do is, you can just apply it to your face like that, and we're just kind of gonna tap it in. You don't want to rub it in like lotion. It's just not lotion, girl. Kind of tap this into the skin, making sure we get it to be a layer. Just kind of pat that in. If you want to go for a more affordable option, this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, literally a dupe. So if you want to save money, this is gonna be your girl. Next, I'm going in with my foundation, the NARS Natural Radiant Long Foundation in the shade Macao. Doing this, you guys don't have to do it this way. You could find a way to apply your foundation that works for you. This is just the way that I like to do it to reduce losing foundation or over applying foundation, especially with NARS, because it can be a little expensive. Spray a little bit. e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. So we're just gonna blend everything out. If you're wanting to go with the inexpensive option, e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation is another one of my favorites. This foundation is $6 and it is full coverage. When I tell you it's very good, e.l.f. is not playing with the girlies. They are giving the quality for your dollar. So if you're wanting to go with inexpensive option, this is gonna be the best bet for you. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with Too Faced Born This Way. I'm laughing because when I think of butterscotch, I think of Rotimi. And
ladies, I am not happy today. They said Mr. Sexy Nigerian Butterscotch has a rival.
But yeah, we're gonna go in with butterscotch and we're gonna brighten it up in the inner corner in a second. So you're gonna wanna kinda place it exactly where you want it to go. You don't wanna necessarily move it. When it's time to blend, you want it to be exactly where you want it to go. You don't wanna have to blend and then move it around and all of that. You want it to stay right where it's at. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want the placement to be in the right place. You also don't want any sparse areas. You want it to be full coverage under the eye. If you're not someone who likes a bright under eye, you can stop right here. I like a bright under eye, so I'm gonna go in with a lighter shade in the inner corner, and this shade is going to be Warm Beige in the same brand Too Faced concealer. So what that looks like is me going in the inner corners. All right, so there we are. I'm gonna let this sit for a second and then we're gonna blend. And you can also spray as well. I like to spray in between. I'm gonna go in with the triangle and I'm gonna spray it just a little bit. That way it's a little bit moist, not too much, And then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending. I like to start, like I said, on this outer area and kind of tap. And just really tap that in to kind of blend that out and blend up. The concealer is pretty neutral, it seems like. It could be brighter. It could be brighter. You can either do this with a brush or you can use this. I'm gonna go in with this since that's what we're using. And just tap on the inner corner, tap that out. This is where we should be right now. And the foundation is laid, the concealer is laid. So now we're gonna go to bronzer. Okay, crazy thing is right now, I have been loving the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder. That's crazy, right? Like, why would I be using a powder for bronzer? I mean, most of these items are interchangeable. I'm deciding to use a foundation because it's what looks good in my finished product. Everything about this just blends perfectly and it looks good when it comes to bronzing. There's some bronzers out there that don't apply the same, and this one is a buttery powder, if that makes sense. You'll see it when I start laying it down. But another one that you can use that's really good is Black Radiance. This is my favorite for like bronzing and contouring, soft contouring, whatever you want to call it. And that's basically what we're doing, is bringing the warmth back to the face. The color that you decide to use can make or break the look. This medium to dark is the one that I normally use. This is normally the one that I try to start with when I'm bringing the warmth back to my face. Now you can actually go in and use a little bit of this, but sometimes this can be a little harsh and a little dark for my liking. So I try to use that. And this shade is in Deep Amber 375. It's just the perfect shade for me when it comes to bringing the warmth back to my face and giving me that ounce of contour that I may desire in my makeup look. I'm gonna start with my nose first, and I'm just gonna take a little bit because a little goes a long way. I will say that. You want your nose to be snatched. Not that we don't love our nose. We just want to enhance our beautiful features. Next, we're gonna go in and we're gonna place the same powder from the hairline. You see where that is? We're gonna take it from the hairline and then we're just gonna kind of tap it in. And like I said, you wanna go, a little goes a long way, so you wanna start with a little and then you can add more gradually, not too much. But yeah, just a little bit. You can kind of put a little bit on the cheeks because you want that warmth to start to build back up into your face. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at what I'm doing here. I know it's weird, but I'm gonna go into the hairline because we want the warmth back into the face. So now that we're done with that, this can be tricky. So I have cream and I have powder blush. My favorite has been Juvia's Place. The cream blushes, I mean, like, they are the bomb. I'm gonna try to use this one because it's trendy. So it's one of my favorites. It's very good and it's very pigmented. It's very effective. So you have to be careful with it. So this is the shade Barbie Rose. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna apply just a little bit to the apple of my cheeks and I'm gonna blend it out on one side. It's so much anxiety. Oh my God, it's so much. That it may not look like it's a lot, but oh my God, watch how this blends out. Just watch. And you definitely just wanna tap because, baby, I'm gonna have to do some real diffusing. You can use this for years on end. We don't need that much Juvia's Place. Y'all can save a little bit and reduce the amount that's in here. Make some minis. Like, make some little minis. That would be amazing. All right, so I'm gonna go in and kind of spray because I'm gonna try to use my triangle and kind of blend this out underneath. That way it's not as harsh. We're gonna try to diffuse any lines underneath the eye. Crazy, so don't judge me. So next is my favorite part, and that is the powder. So I'm gonna be using Huda Beauty banana bread. Get some off of here, dab it in there, and then dust it off on my hand. Just basically setting it into place right now. And I'm using the same triangle that I used earlier. So I'm just going in, looking up, and setting. I know I look crazy, y'all. Right here. Smile lines. Now what I will bake is the center of my nose. And then we're gonna press in the forehead. Then we're gonna take the same brush that we used to do our nose and clean it up. Go in with actually Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 30 medium deep on the bottom, and kind of, you can either, I would prefer using a brush with this so that it's not as harsh. And this is a darker or deeper shade than that other powder because you don't want that cast on the bottom. It's just not a good look. So I go in with a deeper shade on the bottom. You don't really want a defined line there. So that's why I said to use a brush so that you can tap that on. Also, if you don't want to bake under your eye, you don't have to, but I want to. So I'm going to bake under my eye with the Huda Beauty, but it's just important to set first and then bake. And for the sake of this video, we're gonna keep it simple, and we're gonna use the same bronzer that I used to warm up the face, and we're gonna use that as eyeshadow. Okay, so I went all over my lid with the same shade, and I blended it all out. So it looks very interesting right now, but what I'm gonna do is just go on the middle part with the concealer that I used, and almost kind of like, not a cut crease, but just giving it that lighter effect. And then I'm gonna blend it out because we can't be looking like a witch. So we gonna fix this. It's a great thing about makeup, you can fix it. It doesn't have to be end all be all. I'm gonna blend this out to get rid of any harsh lines. Place some shimmer on the lids to bring it all together. This little palette is from ColourPop, which is one of my favorites because it just comes with all of the warm shades to give you that warm look that you're looking for. And it's not big, it's not a big palette, it's just a necessity, a starter. It's the perfect starter. Next is eyeliner by Sephora. I need a little extra hands-on-ness with liner, so yes, I need my mirror for this. Now that the eyeliner is on, next we're gonna be going in with mascara, and this is a oldie but goodie, Great Lash by Maybelline. And what I like to do is put on my lash glue first and then apply my mascara because it just kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm going to go in with my lash glue on my lash line, and then I'm going to go in and apply my mascara. Now for the mascara. This is going to help to get rid of any little dust or whatever from the powder that got on your lashes. You don't want that to show when you have applied your false lashes. You definitely don't want that to show under your lash. It's gonna look dirty and dusty. Next is the lashes, and that's kind of interchangeable. Lashes, mascara, it's all in the same step. So I got these from my beauty supply store. It just says Miss. I feel like they changed the name. I feel like it said Miss Lash was the name of it, but now it just says Miss. And this is the 100% Silk Lash 3D Volume Lash in M Wispy. Yeah. So let's apply these. Girl, you know I gotta focus. Can't talk. A beautiful lash day. Look how pretty. Oh my God. I know y'all are wondering, like, girl, when are you gonna do your brows? They're just all over the place. We need to fix that. But I have grown accustomed to waiting to do my brows because it's just like, it really doesn't matter. I really want to go in and brush everything out. And this is a Sephora pencil. And this is in the shade Chocolate Brown. I feel like I could go darker because of the fact that I'm changing the way I do my brows. I feel like I could go with the darker shade because sometimes to me it feels like it's not dark enough. But hey. And then you're gonna just go with pencil like strokes in the front. And slowly just making those fake hairs. Because baby, these brows are almost gone. And that's partly because I was disobedient as a child. But that's a story for another day. If my brows were as thick as they were back in the day, I'd be rejoicing to the way people are paying for thick brows. And that's crazy how the trends change, because back in the day, mama had pencil-like brows. And that was the thing back then. Keeping your brows super thin and sculpted. Now we want them full and defined. Oh, how the times change. Now, it is, I will say, I'm gonna be honest, it is your preference. If you want more natural looking brows, then I would say to do this in the beginning. Like if you use a brow gel or whatever, if you like to use a brow gel to give you that defined hair look and you want pencil-like strokes in the front, this is more of an ombre effect. There's a difference. That natural looking brow stroke look, and I normally do that like when I'm going for a minimal makeup look, then definitely do your brows in the beginning. But as for me right now, you can do it at the end. Now we're gonna go in and sculpt it out. To try not to drag it too far down. So this is the fun part for me because I get to go in and blend, 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 blend that back out. So now that the brows are done, I'm gonna go in with a pressed powder to make sure that you are dusting off this excess powder. You're gonna wanna go in with a pressed powder and dust everything off. And to kind of diffuse everything and make sure everything is seamless. I also like going in with a illuminator for a finished type of look to give you that, not so much shine, but just to give you a glow effect. So I go in with an illuminator. I like to go all over the face, but you don't have to. You can use it as a highlighter, but it gives you that glow, that finished looking glow. So then I'm gonna go in and spray. Lastly, but not least, is the lips. So I'm gonna go in with Juvia's Place, and this is one of my favorite liners. It's in the shade Cola. And I'm gonna go in and line my lips. Is Glossed by Sephora in the shade Yes Honey, and I love it because it's perfect, the perfect nude with a little bit of shimmer in there. So this is gonna top everything off. lastly but not least, and I hate the way that this light is today, it does my makeup no justice, even though it does look beautiful to me and hopefully to you guys too. And hopefully you guys were able to follow along and take the tips and tricks that I gave you to reach the ultimate outcome. But not so fast, we do have to finish our look with the setting spray, and this is the viral Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Setting Spray or Misting Spray, Ultra Matte Finish mixed with aloe and vitamin E. So just gonna go in and spray. Now that we're drenched, we're just gonna dry and yeah. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you can use this step-by-step guide just as a foundational tool so that every time you want to do your makeup, if you have time, you can go in here and use this as a step-by-step guide. You can keep referencing it. That's why we love YouTube, because it's like a big school for whatever you want to learn. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe and like the video. Follow me on all social media platforms. Everything's down below. I'm not gonna bore you with all the things that people say on YouTube, because we all know if you want to subscribe, you're gonna subscribe, and I know you want to subscribe. So there we go. I love you guys, and see you guys next time. And effectively, I can't talk. Ooh, child, listen. No, that is the micellar. I don't know how to say it, but micellar water. Oh, are you clean or what? Like, I don't know. I don't even know if that has anything to do with this, but I'm not gonna bore you. Intense ink liner. It says it has a couple different names. Eyeliner liquid day. Grip for Sephora. What? Sephora liquid eyeliner. You know, what do you call them? Colloquialisms. Ooh, hey girl. Okay, can I talk today? Like, what in the world? Golly, I'm gonna put a clip in somewhere. But we're going in with the shade. We're going in with the shade so you can effectively follow along to get the desired look that you're looking for. I hope I'm making sense. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ooh, wee. Up to you, girl. And I am using Sephora eyeliner. Ooh, girl. Intense. I don't know if that's in French or what, but yes. Yes, Miss Lash, you did not disappoint.